Well, just digest that information, because that's not even the most impressive one we found.
I think it is.
I suppose it's pretty impressive, but the next one's maybe more shocking.
Okay, right.
But let's play a tune, and Ricky's got another extraordinary. The Cure, Love Song, classic on XFM.
So that's the crab that you can download their memories.
But what about other animals that are in the sea, in that same sea, eating the stuff? Have they tested them yet?
I don't know. I think they just took it on because their biology, something to do with, I presume they could take up minerals and, you know, I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, next one, it's just on the horizons, a bodybuilder, yeah?
Married, freaky.
Married another bodybuilder,
yeah.
Right, and they're pregnant. And they had these tests, and the baby was very large, but it was causing it pain, right, in the thing, right? And after
it's almost bizarre, and like,
yeah, after the female woke up pregnant after 7 months, and the baby
It's walking around.
No, it forced its way out of the vagina.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it forced its way out.
And it was because it almost had like super strength, like.
And it was pulling her along by the umbilical cord, and and it was a stone.
Extraordinary. That's freaky. I mean, you're talking about freaky stuff.
That's made up.
What?
It wasn't pulling her along.
Well, no, it was putting. She could feel it.
Exactly. And it was, do you know what I mean? Like, just went, and just sort of squeezed its way
got out, because it was ready. Because all the hormones.
Because it thought it was ready.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Just waking up and finding that in the bottom of the bed. Freak out, wouldn't it? Because you think it was a nightmare initially.
And it had hair and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, because all the hormones, there, like
there was something in the week about, you know, you've got test tube babies and that now, haven't you? But they've managed to do it. I only caught half
I knew he'd be more impressed by the crabs than that. He doesn't care if it's
No, I am. I'm telling you though, that, there was something, I only caught half the story because I was busy, but, there's something about babies being able to be born without having any people involved. Or something, it's like putting them in an oven or something, and it's like a cake, and after a certain amount of time it's ready.
I never buy those in Argos for kids at Christmas.
Well, it's my first baby kit.
Yeah. There's Play-Doh, I think, that they can buy.
Yeah. So what do you think of that then?
The baby one?
Yeah.
I prefer the crab one.
Yeah.
But the baby thing's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than like the average.
Both made up. We made those up.
Yeah, they're both rubbish.
Both
they are both rubbish. Despite the fact they're both rubbish.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
We made those up. Both those stupid stories up.
Yeah.
Imagine downloading a crab's memories and seeing its mum feeding it as a child.
Both apps are rubbish.
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I know I was gonna have trouble with, pushed its way out of the vagina.
Yeah.
I practiced that about 30 times yesterday with Stephen. I was going, I'm not gonna be able to do it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to say that.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit. I mean, the baby one's a bit sort of out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really having that one.
No.
But the crab one,
See, now, what's interesting, I think, is a useful experiment, Carl. I don't know what it's taught you about yourself, but would you say that that's revealed to you a certain thing? I don't know, maybe that you're a bit gullible. I mean, you know, what I'm saying is maybe you shouldn't accept or swallow your hook, line and sinker everything you read on the web. Do you not think maybe a valuable lesson?
I feel bad because I said to Steve, he won't be annoyed that we conned him, he'd be annoyed that they're actually not true. You'd love that crab thing to be true, wouldn't you?
it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then he'd laugh.
And it's, in the break, when I said about the crabs, you went, well, I'm keeping them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, I know what you're getting at. with the educating Ricky, but, you know.
Let's see.
You've got, 3 titles.
Yeah.
That I tease you with, different stories. You take your pick and I teach you something. That did happen.
That's a little bit of venom. Yeah, go on.
First one is, don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher.
I bet that's bacon related, knowing you.
You've got enough is anus.
Say that again.
Enough is an anus.
Enough is enough.
Well.
But he's changed to enough is an anus.
Yeah. And
okay.
you've got,
yeah.
You've also got, will it be a bloke? Oh no. Will it like a bloke or a woman?
What?
Will it like a bloke or a woman?
Will it?
Yeah.
Will it like a bloke or a woman?
Wow.
Yeah, so they're your 3 stories.
Okay, that sounds exciting.
Okay, well I'll have will it
well,
like...
we're gonna play a record now, Rick, surely.
Yeah, okay.
And come back with...
Sorry about the crabs and the big baby.
Alright.
It's a valuable lesson, really.
I'll think of a title for him. Yeah, Oasis. The Hindu Times. Carl just did his little screen test down the lens, and he said, "Just look at the camera." He went, "Right, do you want to know about MTV?" She went, "Well, it might be VH1." He went, "Right." He did Rockbusters, then said after the break some Genesis.
I'd
dear.
watch it.
You didn't tell me she wanted all this. I thought you said, because I said you just bring your own camera in and we'll put it down on some tape and pass that on to her.
Yeah.
So now, I'm doing 2 jobs at once again. This is what I'm saying to you in the week. I'm juggling jobs all the time. I tell you.
Right, come on then.
How much do I get?
He looked straight at the camera and said that.
Right. So, 3 stories. Don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher. Enough is anus. And
we'll have that one then.
That one?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you believe in palm reading and stuff?
No. Yes.
Sorry, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, of course we do.
Right, well, there's a fella who, he used to do palm reading.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people, he found that when he went up to him in the street and said, "Do you want your palm reading?" he was like, a lot of them were like, you know, "Oh, I'm a bit ashamed of my nails and stuff because they're a labourer or they're a cleaner or something like that."
I know a lot of labourers are slightly embarrassed by their nails.
Yeah.
No, but
yeah.
So he found
look at my bloody hands, Reg.
Well,
that's that hod carrying.
Did I ever tell you that? Did I ever tell you that I got picked at school to make tea and serve biscuits to old people because I've got good nails?
No, go on. Is there any more to the story?
Well, that's about it. I mean, we used to do, like, I think the head teacher must have been getting something, maybe getting his mum in there for free or something in sell people's home. So he offered the kids at the school, he said, "Right, all sit at your desk and put your hands on the table." And everyone did. And he walked past mine and he said, "Not bad, not bad." Yeah. And he said, "You've got the afternoon off, you can go and serve biscuits and tea to the old people."
What did you say?
I said, "All right then."
Was
good.
Yeah.
It was a good afternoon. But anyway, so these...
what did he do?
He just sort of walked around and went, "You know, right, do you want bourbons or digest?"
I bet you get on with old people, wouldn't you? I'd love to see you, maybe
especially the senile ones.
Yeah, no, but I'd love to see you on VH1, just in a link, and just go, you know, they've just played, Robert Palmer, right? And it comes to you in a little park, and you just sit next to an old lady, go, "Alright?" And you go, "Yeah, not too bad." You go, "What do you think of London? Crap, innit?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's awful, innit?" And you just have a talk, and you go, "Alright, well, she doesn't like it. In excess." Yeah. That's what I'd like to see.
I still think my idea is better, but... So what are you going for then? Oh, you've picked one, haven't you? Yeah, so this fella...
So there's palmists going around the streets.
Yeah, he's going round and
randomly trying to give palm readings.
They're losing money, hand over fist.
Yeah.
Alright, so, they said, he's what he's done, he's reading people's, bottoms now.
Sorry, whoa, you just, I didn't quite follow that. He was a palm reader, that wasn't making money, so now he's going up to people in the street and saying, "Can I see your arse?"
Basically, yeah.
So from being a palmist to an arsonist?
Well, they just, that's what he does. He said the same sort of lines and that you get on your hand, you get them on your bottom, and, he can read them.
Right.
Yeah, he's not a pervert or anything, or making up as he goes along.
No, that's it, that was that.
So, sorry, if a man came up to you in the street and said, "Can I have a look at your arse?"
Can I read your arse?
You'd drop your trousers, would you?
No, if he went up to him and they said, "Oh, I'd rather you didn't because I'm a labourer, I've got bad fingernails."
No, that's why I've seen, that's what a lot of labourers, they're showing their cleavage, you think, but actually they're having their arse read.
Absolutely.
That's that's what it is.
And then, right...
So is that the end of the story?
Yeah. But then because...
That's it. Educating Ricky is there's a bloke who reads arses.
No, but
you're a mentalist.
But no, but
what are you talking about?
But then, do you know, like, now and again I come up with a little jokey line. Thought I'd make an effort today for VH1 or MTV.
Yeah.
Little line there. Don't worry, it won't last. It might just be a splash in the pan.
Okay.
Phil Collins next.
Yes, let's play some Phil. Let's play some Phil.
Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back, why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like you know, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of the word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
I don't care because it's the last day on Earth.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse. These spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised?
I'd be surprised if there was something...
It sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're discovering new species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to, we live in a world now. We do, we know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's
like
not a natural thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years, going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural thing.
It's a new thing. It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms, there's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top. Right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think someone in the 1900s, said everything that's going to be invented has been invented. And then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that like, you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need it.
Yeah, but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who said he's up there with Einstein?
These PR people
in one of those programmes where they did like great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson, and they started to run out because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well, somebody, yeah.
And what can it do? Oh,
necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, where's a loophole in the market? Where's a niche?
Well, here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Think of computers.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever, well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing. Well, it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I don't know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Carl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find it's sand.
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah, but that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different. I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait
not
a minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never heard
true.
this before. How have we had all these years
I'm
of
sure
monkey
I
use and
told
we've
you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Well, why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had, like, odd sort of pets and that, didn't they? In, like, about 68.
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
We had to thump it. Now, the weird thing is...
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got, all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it?
Yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that I was into monkeys, he said, oh, Benny thumped one. And,
Benny thumped one! Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do! They do go, you thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human... I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
Then
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, oh, that's unfair. Now they're in like a cage in a zoo. You go, it was better when I was pushing a piano up the stairs.
They weren't really...
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going, okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey. What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay.
I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah, why, come on, why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So,
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works,
Yeah,
right? With
okay.
a cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have, I wouldn't have legs, I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with a head of an owl.
Slithering along. How is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the slug.
You know, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right. You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the
survival?
head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a ball.
This isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's... Oh,
Why has it got the slug? Why
Because
is that so attractive?
what I'm thinking is, an armadillo, they're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck, like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why have a limpet then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can
Just
hardly get anywhere.
go and kick it.
What do you mean it can't get
Well, how
anywhere?
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
Rubbish.
slowly.
No, 'cause
What, that's the
it'll
worst
lock
animal.
it'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
does.
what
Well, that's
peacock
the
feathers
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
They'll eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that, and they'll eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even extending
got
its limitations.
Well,
No,
it's mainly made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God! Oh, fucking hell! What a useless animal that is! Carl, I mean. And also, Carl's lottery numbers. He's a little bit more confident this week.
Okay, good.
He went, they're more like it. And I looked at him and I laughed. He went, no, even Suzanne said I'm on more on the right lines there. Is anyone who, has done a degree in maths or A-level maths that can bear... Carl won't believe this, right? Carl thinks... I know I was partly doing it to confuse him, just see that look on his face like a cat, right? But there is the chances with a random numbers, for example the lottery, of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are no greater than any other single combination.
Right.
Now that's true. I don't mean you're more likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 than any other combination put together, but than any other individual combination, they're all equal. It's counterintuitive, I know. I know you think that to get a run of 1 to 6 is less likely than anything else, but it's not. Any named combination... It's not, Carl. If there's a problem...
Well, it's never happened. Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, but there's any number of combinations that
never happened. Every one of those combinations that have come up have happened, and they're just as likely or unlikely as any other combination, right? It's just that you feel intuitively, right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is less likely than 1, 7, 12, 34, 60. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't win.
Play record.
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan, Uzi, on XFM 104.9. Well, here we are, the day before St Patrick's Day.
Oh, hooray! Brilliant!
Guinness, etc.
I hate English people, I should say, who are obsessed with celebrating St Patrick's Day. You know, crazy, it's like Chris Evans used to rave on about it. We're going to Dublin, we're going to get drunk, wow. It's like, it means nothing
I
to
think
English
XFM
people,
just
doesn't
did that, to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, exactly. Just as bad.
Careful, they are employers. You don't want to annoy them. What would we do without this?
Well, that's true. Yeah, have an enjoyable Saturday.
No, this is my favourite 2 hours. You like this, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do this through May and June.
No, we'll be gone.
We've got to record the second series of The Office. What are we going to do, Carl? What are you going to do on a Saturday?
Host the show yourself?
Do it on my own.
You are not.
Are you seriously thinking of it? Have they asked
We've
you
made
to do
you
it?
everything you...
Why would you not think about it?
Because I've been there, done that.
Next challenge, please!
Oh dear. Do you know what St Patrick did? Why he was revered as a saint and everything? What was he famous for in Ireland? He rid Ireland of something.
I don't know, but I bet he started off with something odd happening in his life.
What, you think he had asthma or something as a kid?
They all do.
And he took it out on what, though?
What did he exactly? He took it out on something. What did he do? What did he rid Ireland of?
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
This is why we're going to get crazy and drunk tomorrow. This is why we're also happy to celebrate his anniversary, or whatever it is we're celebrating. This is
that's why we have a crack.
Yeah, this is why we don't bother to celebrate, you know, the birthdays of James Joyce, you know, one of the great novelists of this century, or Samuel Beckett, one of the great playwrights. We actually celebrate this man, St. Patrick, the man who did what?
Don't diss him. He did a good job of it as well, because there's none there now. There are none of these in Ireland. So, he rid Ireland of something.
Come on, Carl. Think of something. Just give us an answer. What's
He went round on a horse whacking them and...
He went on a horse whacking them.
Yeah.
What was it, Carl?
What did he rid Ireland of?
Went on a horse. Foxes. I don't know.
No, you're on the right lines.
On the right lines. It was an animal.
Oh. Bears.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Wow! It was snakes.
Right.
And there are no snakes in
He
Ireland.
rid Ireland of all the snakes.
Yeah.
Who did it here then? Because there isn't that many.
Well, I think he had a stab at it over here as well, but got tired and went back.
Yeah.
That's why there's just a few snakes here. Is it true that there are no snakes in Ireland?
I think it is. I think if someone called it...
And what is there any historical evidence for St. Patrick ridding them of... I mean, how did he do it? Was it like the Pied Piper?
See, I'm not convinced that he did go around killing them snakes, but there are no snakes in Ireland, and that's... Yeah. I don't think the ins and outs. If someone knows the ins and outs, we had a few, probability experts and statisticians and maths graduates confirming that indeed I was correct, that the probability of 1 to 6 in a row is no more or less likely than any other single combination in a totally random selection of balls. Which brings us back to Hitler, doesn't it? Because he only had one, didn't he?
Well,
Coming up, we'll be asking Karl all about Hitler, the education of Karl. He's done Rasputin, he's done Che Guevara.
Plus, of course, White Van Carl, where we asked Carl some of the, his opinions on some of the hot potatoes of the week.
You learn as you go along, because you've got something about St. Patrick there. That was thrown in for free. That was an extra...
I'll learn you something here. Snakes.
Well, sorry, can I just stop you there, and I'll teach you something, right?
Oh, go on then.
You don't learn someone something, you teach them something.
Yeah.
It's not, one's passive. You learn...
Ricky, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think you should be teaching people how to speak or use grammar. I just don't think it's appropriate. It's embarrassing, frankly. Because there's so many errors that you're making. It's like, where to start with you?
Oh.
Snakes, right? You're talking about snakes?
Yeah.
A lot of snakes are born with 2 heads. It's like a familiar type thing that happens to snakes.
Okay. Yeah. They take it for granted, don't they?
Right. Snakes born 2 heads, they'll fight each other for food, even though it's going in the same body.
Isn't that weird?
Were there kids at school that you went who had 2 heads?
The snake twins from Moseley.
Oh, there was kids at your school with 2 heads, was that right? What?
No, they had big heads.
Oh, they had big heads.
And webbed hands, but they weren't related. And they weren't friends, because that would have been too obvious, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, listen, before you came in, right, I sneezed a couple of times, so if I'm allergic, I've still got a bit of a cold. And I said, oh God, he went, bloody hell, I was like, sorry. And he went, you know you can't sneeze with your eyes open. I went, yeah. And then he was obviously thinking to himself still, and after a pause he went, would your eyes really fly out? And I started laughing. He went, no, because has anyone ever done that thing? Has anyone ever held someone down, torturing them, and held their eyelids open and gave them pepper and see if their eyes would fly out? And he said, and then he went, I'm just looking at him again, the silence, then he went, of his own accord, he just went, I can't see it happening.
Your song here, Ricky.
Oh, Bowie. Sorrow. It's beautiful. Sorrow by David Bowie. I got that on a compilation today, but I think it's originally off the Pin-Ups album, the one we did all the covers, because he didn't write that, did he? That was the one with him and Twiggy on the front cover, isn't it?
Right.
I haven't had that for ages. I haven't got that. So.
Sorry, you lost me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you reading a book there?
No, I was just reading the brochure there, the programme, if you will, for the Television and Radio Industries Club Awards that we went to. Incidentally, we lost.
We lost to Linda Green.
Yeah, we didn't win an award.
for the best comedy.
But you might be interested to know that Tom O'Connor is in constant demand for corporate functions both here and abroad, and his client list includes many multinational companies. No mean golfer, Tom took the literary world by surprise in 1992 when his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I noticed it didn't take the literary world by storm.
No.
It took it by surprise.
They're going, we can't say storm. We've got to say by surprise, from behind.
But his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I don't know if that's just books about golf, that bestseller list. Subsequent successful books include One Flew Over the Clubhouse.
Brilliant. Genius.
Take a Funny Turn. Follow Me, I'm Right Behind You. And Eat Like a Horse, Drink Like a Fish.
Does it mention Celebrity Squares? Didn't he do that?
No.
He did,
Crosswits.
Name that tune.
Well, that's right. It's
Crosswords. Do you remember Crosswords?
It was from the 80s.
It was like a crossword game show.
It was often with Kate Copstick. But I saw one, right, it was on Challenge, TV being repeated. No, Andy Crane. Remember Andy Crane?
Yeah.
He was the link man, and he went, coming up next, Tom O'Connor with Crosswits with well, in my opinion, one of the best Crosswits players of all time, John Junkin.
Oh, who's your favourite Crosswits player?
It's got to be Junkin for me as well. But Copstick was
Barry
alright.
Cryer's bloody good.
Cryer was good. Cryer was good. I watched Call My Bluff in the week.
Is this with Togsvig and
yeah, it was quite good. I quite enjoyed
I
it.
imagine you could get on there if you
I
wanted.
used to watch it with what's his name? Famer.
Yeah.
Famer. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
You were
impression.
brilliant impressions, because obviously while Bowie was playing, you were doing your infamous Bowie impression, which is the best one you do, actually.
Well, that's just because Carl said, you know what, he said, I'd love to go out for a drink with David Bowie. Of all the people that come in here for sessions, I think he's really good in. And I said, I think he'd like you as well. That's all, and I just went, hello, Carl. You're strange, you're alien. It interests me. Myself and Ian, I'd like to put you on the... Yeah, and I just imagine you and Bowie in a pub somewhere.
Isn't that pretty much the same impression you do when you do Ian Canfield?
No. Ian Canfield's more like that. But not on air. On air, he's sort of like this sort of eloquent 40-year-old Capital DJ.
Yeah.
And,
But when you talk to him in the studio,
he's slowly turning into Tommy Vance, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of his pillars of rock, Canfield. He loves Vance, Lemmy, Diano.
If we run out of material later in the show, which is likely,
Yeah.
considering we're now talking about Ian
We
Canfield.
ran out of it at 1:05.
Exactly. And it's an email-only competition.
Email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and we pick a winner before the end. So,
And
you can win that stuff.
Win at Wicker Man.
The weather.
Best of the weather.
The best of the weather. That would be amazing. The best of the weather.
As a compilation, Channel 4.
Exactly.
That
winds light to variable.
I love 1976
Remember this
weather.
one from August 1979?
Warm, isn't it? Oh, this is warm, isn't it? Oh,
Best of the weather.
I'll tell you what. You remember how we always play like great music usually? I'm up
You've
in
not
it.
got another one, have you? You're
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna do
that
it.
again this week, are you?
Yeah. This is David Bowie driving Saturday.
Oh, send it again. What? I'm in the same problem.
I know, beating a biscuit.
Yeah.
David Bowie driving Saturday. That's a great track, isn't it? A crash course for the ravers, eh? That's what this show is, isn't it, Carl? Crash course for the ravers. They tune and they go, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was like Karl Pilkington.
You reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You forgot to read your mum's clues out, didn't you?
Yeah,
These
she's
are just for fun only. This is Carl's mum. She listened one week and now she sends him a little example of Rockbusters every week.
She's got, what did she send? This group would go well with your Christmas dinner.
Cranberries?
Yeah. They make a few good cupboards.
They make a few good cupboards.
Yeah.
The Carpenters.
Carpenters. I was thinking of EMF.
What else?
I was thinking B&Q. The B&Qs.
This group thinks of lots of things.
This group thinks of lots of things.
Yeah.
Go on.
Imagination. I think they're the best ones.
Yeah, obviously we want the worst ones then.
Here's one more. She'd really like Blackpool.
She'd really like Blackpool. She'd really like Blackpool.
Fairground attraction. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right, so, there's,
Does she write anything else in the letter, or does she just send them, like, on a scrawled on the back of, you know, I don't know, a till receipt?
She did with the first
Quick
one,
thing.
now it's just the Rockbusters.
Right.
Really?
She doesn't bother asking how you are, or...
Well, I speak to her in a week on the phone, so it doesn't-
What kind of conversations would you have then with your
What do you
sort of
say?
stuff?
do you moan about how overworked you are and stuff to her?
I mean, they're always surprised when I'm getting in late and that. It's like, you know, what have you done today? Oh, I've just got in from work and it's like 8:30 at night.
A lot of people get home at 8:30, Carl. Next.
You know, just saying how's the flat going.
Yeah.
Asking my dad some DIY tips the other day. You know, usual sort of stuff you talk with your mum and dad, really.
Yeah.
Talking about the Bisons with them. I was watching, did you watch The Mammals in the week?
Oh,
David Attenborough.
No.
I was thinking actually, right, all this MTV stuff, if there's one reason why I'd like to do it, is I was watching Attenborough, the Mammals programme. I reckon I could do something like that.
Right.
And just have like me, instead of Attenborough, like a young, you know, a young sort of fresh person, watching like, certain animals and saying, do we need these? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God! What's going to be death on Earth?
Well,
That's amazing! Do we need these?
And,
No, 'cause there's
and
loads of
the
stuff.
audience at home would vote, would there be some kind of
Yeah,
telephone
like a
vote?
vote out system.
Oh,
The
that-
thing is like, it's something interesting that Attenborough was saying the other night on,
Do we need these?
on Jonathan Ross's show, on his telly show, right? He was saying, he said you could take all the humans off the earth and it would carry on, but take like some animals off it, mammals and that, you got problems on your hands. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like the question is, do we need these? Is that part of the big thing?
Right.
Like jellyfish,
Yeah.
we've talked about jellyfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which mammals in particular were
You talked about that on Zoe Ball show, haven't you?
Hey?
Which mammals were you thinking we don't need when you watched the show the other night? Any in particular that you thought they don't need them? They're not of interest.
Well, I like whales, but I don't know what they do. And they're taking up quite a lot of room.
Sure.
But stuff like,
Yeah.
but like, jellyfish, I looked into because,
Yeah.
you know,
well,
I was
think
talking
you
about
don't-
them, and they were saying they've got no eyes, no heart, there's something like 97% water,
Yeah.
they're blind, and they do about 33 miles a day.
Right.
So it's like, do we need them? Could we clear them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a big net.
That would be the programme. What? Right, we'll get rid of them. Next week we'll be looking at
Rhinos.
I think it's genius. Honestly, I think it's genius. And like going along sort of like picking up sea anemones and going and just lobbing them into the sea.
Well, what do you think about MTV doing that? And then I just, in between the bits,
Play music
I
videos?
play music related
relate
to
to it.
fish, so I could play like Fish,
Yeah.
that rock guy, or the animals,
Rock lobster.
yeah, or what else could
This
we get
could
in
run and
there?
run.
What other songs have got animals in them? The
Well,
monkeys, could play the monkeys.
Yeah, there's about 1 million, so let's not start this.
No, but, do you know what I mean?
So do we need this?
So MTV
Carpet.
flies you around the world
And
to the
you-
most incredible exotic locations. You sort of climb up a tree or whatever next to, I don't know what lives up a tree, some kind of rare parrot. You say, look at
Sloth.
that, it's colourful,
Sloth.
it's interesting.
Oh, you like sloths, don't you?
No, they just live up trees, but I'd say, do we need them?
Why?
Well, what do they do?
What do you mean? What do they do? What do you want from an animal? Carpentry. What do you want?
I don't like scorpions, right?
Right.
But then I found out they look after those monkey things.
They're not monkeys, they're lizards.
Well, alright, yeah, them lizards, they look after the lizards. So there's a reason.
But do you need the lizard? Could be your
Well,
next
yeah,
question.
because the local people made shoes out of them.
But not when the scorpion protected them, they didn't.
Right, we don't need them then.
So, and so ultimately, would anyone decide? I mean, do the animals kind of get a chance to mount a case for their survival? I mean, is there maybe someone that comes into their corner and sort of defends them?
I'd have like a David Attenborough type character who says,
Right.
well, they do this, and I'll go, yeah, but do we need that doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does an animal need to do in order for you to feel that it sort of gets the chance of life? I mean, like a pet, like an animal, like a dog maybe, or a cat, I mean, they give a certain affection to its owner. Is that a valid reason to survive? Not particularly.
Not really.
No, okay.
I've been saying that though, blind people use dogs, so they are useful.
So dogs are useful. St.
Farmers
Bernards,
use
they often
dogs.
save people, don't they, in
Yeah.
snowy weather?
Cats. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Keep the mice down.
Yeah, but you got rent a kill.
Okay.
What I'm saying is something that will affect the world.
Right. I think you'll find everything does. I think you'll find everything does.
Except Carl. I'm not sure what effect he's having on the world.
I tell you what though, Steve, right? Did you watch the mammals?
I didn't see the mammals.
They had bison on it.
Right.
The weirdest looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really
Again, you're on dangerous ground here, Carl.
but they've really got it's like, decide what you want to look like. It's just a mismatch of stuff. It's got a really big airy head.
Yeah.
And like you.
Sort of bald at the back.
Right.
Sort of
It's like
thinner.
someone you went to school with.
Was there two of them? Oh, brilliant.
From the album Original Pirate Material, it's obviously The Streets, and an album track from that, It's Too Late. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know everyone's raving about it being, you know, one of the albums of the year, but it is, I think.
It's great. That's brilliant. I love the backing as well. It's just so good. The lyrics, the things you go, they're my favourite band of the year. Next week then, we'll do all our favourite songs of the year, shall we?
No, I think it's got to be 2 weeks' time, hasn't it?
2 weeks, is it?
Yeah, I'm away
Christmas.
next week as well.
What do you mean you're away next week? What are you doing? Zoe Ball show?
I'm going up north again.
Why?
So Claire's going to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, at least
What are you doing up north?
she does her job.
Just Suzanne's dad's birthday. So
I bet he's a party animal. I bet I've heard that they really kick off, don't they? Is it? Yeah.
so
You gonna be raving?
can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face.
So
the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just you got your best side.
It's on that side. That's all right.
Oh, yeah, the camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Carl, ignore the camera. Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Now, me and Steve have done our research for you, and we've got two amazing things to tell you. What should I tell them first, about the baby or the...
Well, they're
crab?
both equally fascinating, so you choose.
I'll tell you the crab thing first, right? Steve actually saw this thing in The Guardian the week, about our research thing, and then we looked it up, we looked into it on Friday, and it is incredible. Right, listen to this. There's a thing in a bay in, New England, right, where it's like the biggest, they make silicon chips and stuff for computers, right? And because of the data protection thing, after they've done them, because they have to destroy the plates, right, well, the information's sort of put onto them, but there's still flakes of silicon. They sort of grind it down straight away, and some of the flakes got into the bay, okay, but some of the information's still on even the slight granules of silicon. Anyway, gets in the water, and silicon is rather like a carbon derivative. They reckon if there'd been life on another planet that wasn't carbon-based, it'd be silicon-based, because that's simple sugars and it's just COH and that, and it can work with silicon, right? Anyway, the crabs have been taken up, it's in the water, and they looked out on the beach, and over years the crabs have started sort of putting themselves in formations, like geometric format, and they couldn't work out why they were doing this. And when they put them in the experiment, they sort of like chopped them up, and they found they'd taken on silicon, and it had sort of got into their brain, and they were downloading information. They picked up little things, because it's just chemical, you know, like electrical impulses had got information off the silicon chip, and they were interfacing it. But this is the amazing thing. One bloke sort of thought of this, and he thought, well, if it's a simple computer, the brain, if it's just a simple sort of electrical thing, then maybe there's sort of, you know, we could get it down. So what they did is they made a thing called a biointerface. And they put it into the crab's brain, just a really simple brain, so it's measured on Vanguard, right? And it got impulses from it, and they were getting, like, computer readers, so just flashes of, like, symbols and geometric things right on this screen to read the crab's brain. And it was stuff like, you know, fragments of a...
what made them do this in the first place?
Because they saw the crabs behaving differently. They were behaving differently to each other. They were just like, they were, you know, intelligent. And they were sort of solving problems and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when they downloaded the thing, it was like there was they found one of the secretary's names where it had been on the silicon chip, where it was just like a flash of a computer screen. But the most amazing thing is, they downloaded a memory, right? It was like a snapshot where it had been burnt onto the retina of the crab, just a snapshot or something, and it was like a picture of the beach, like a couple of years ago, right? And they also did, incredible, it was like just a digital black and white sort of thing, so they could see what the crab had seen.
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
So
Intelligent crabs.
what are they doing with them now, then?
Super brain.
Well, they think this is the upshot. They think they could use it as spy crabs because they could get these crabs. Also, the other thing is, as generations went on, right? So they put a crab in the sea or something, right? Lots of crabs in, and then as generations went on, a newborn crab, they downloaded the memory, and it had the memories of its great all together. It had every memory that any crab had been related to it beforehand, because it passed it on. It just passed it on.
So not even ones that had been eating the silicon stuff.
Yeah, no,
These are just like ones that have had kids.
Yeah,
And they've got like,
and they know so you'd know everything everything right the way back.
So would that work if we ate silicon?
Well,
possibly.
So what are they gonna?
Well, they can use them for all sorts of things, though. I mean, that's what's incredible. I mean, I don't know how you train it particularly. I don't know quite sure how to train, but I'm assuming if they can do it that way, then presumably they can give it like certain silicon information, which they can then plant in it, if you like, within its sort of food.
Also, if you get them onto enemy beaches, you'd have like 1,000 digital cameras just
sneaking around. If you get like Osama bin Laden or someone,
they don't understand the information they've got.
No, they don't know they're doing it. They just download them.
So it's not like you could torture them and they won't be able to sort of give you the information because they wouldn't know what information they had because they're just.
But the first crab they downloaded, they just kept seeing the same picture of a big crab feeding it, which they
really. Yeah. Wow. That's what, like its mother crab or something.
Yeah. Just memories of it as a child.
But they're not in colour, presumably. Because
no, it's all in black and white. It's just a digital camera because it's just they don't see it in black and white, so it's just like a I don't know. I think it's burnt onto the retina or something. And the only one that they kept were the ones they saw a lot of the time.
Wow. I mean, in a way, some of the educating Ricky I've got for you today is on the similar lines.
Right.
Oh, you've got to be impressed by that. You've got to be impressed by that.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm interested to see, what they do.
What they do with what the crab developments are.
But yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Which is another important value of art, of course. People's self-expression, people being able to give a little piece of themselves through their work. Do you not see any value in that? How do you express yourself?
Whistle.
You whistle.
Yeah, I found over Christmas I whistled a lot more than I usually do. And I think that was just freedom.
What do you mean freedom?
Right,
freedom.
expand on this point if you would.
Well, that's what art is, isn't it? It's you being free of all the world's heaviness on your shoulders.
See, that's a great quote, that. That's great, that. For art is freedom. I love that, because I think you've really hit on something there.
Would you include the free of all the world's heaviness?
Well, I know what you meant. I know what you meant there.
Would you include that one in it?
I mean, I would include the world's heaviness in my freedom. You know, some artists are attracted to the dark side, the heaviness of the world.
But I just want to return to you whistling as your artistic expression of freedom. I mean, why did you find yourself whistling more?
That's what was weird.
So just take us through a typical day. When would the whistling begin?
So this was that you spent Christmas down in Kent with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I suggest something? Your freedom was thinking, I'm in my own place now. I'm going to annoy them.
Well, it was mainly it's when we were playing Scrabble, and they were taking ages to have their go, and couldn't have the radio on because the boiler affects the radio.
You got boiler problems down in Kent as well?
It works. It just gives something off every time it kicks in. The radio goes all staticky.
Right.
So I just was sort of supplying the soundtrack.
And what kind of things would you be whistling?
It was like I just sort of did a whistle medley. It was going from one thing to another.
A Wedley.
And a man was impressed. She was like, "Oh, you can whistle, can't you?" I was going, "Yeah." And then she was saying, "How loud can you go?" I was just doing all different levels.
So this sounds like a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The boiler's setting off the radio. I can whistle. Oh, you're good whistling, aren't you? Oh, let's grab out. Talk about outsider art.
I love the fact that Carl's life is like living in a home when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
But you felt that this was your way of expressing yourself.
I just found it odd because I don't whistle that much. I think just because I think I'm fed up most of the time when I'm in London. And you don't whistle when you're fed up here. Whistling's a happy thing. You never get an angry man suddenly breaking into a
Well,
whistle.
the people who aren't whistling are usually pissed off. But yeah, the bloke who's whistling, it's like, it's the least, he's the least annoyed person in the room when someone's whistling. Same as holding a drill. The only person that noise doesn't annoy is the bloke who's drilling. Everyone else wants to bunch his face in. Same with whistling. Whistling, there's no point in whistling.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
Don't know. I mean, our window cleaner was known as, like, you know, that's how you knew he was there. He always whistled. And in the end, he fell off his ladder, broke his front teeth.
Oh.
Retired.
Well, because he couldn't whistle.
That was it. It was like,
Well, yeah, he
can't
whistles all the time.
Can't whistle,
Well, yeah.
can't clean windows. It's a bit tragic.
Could he take along a whistle? Just pop that in his mouth.
Yeah, I suppose he could have done. Didn't think of that.
What about a flute? Or a recorder? Not London's burning again. Fucking clean the windows and then fuck off.
He didn't really think this through, did he? He retired at the age of 28. And his whole family were bankrupt.
With no teeth.
Yeah.
And just a bucket and a
Why aren't
squeegee.
you working, Dad? Because I can't whistle.
I can't whistle anymore, and if the day you give up whistling is the day I give up window cleaning.
So you never whistle?
No.
I can't really whistle very well. No.
I don't whistle, but I can whistle better than that.
What, you did this for hours on end while playing Scrabble?
About 2 hours.
2 hours?
Hell.
Put my word down.
And
then-
this, sorry, can we just hear that again? Can we hear it?
So you were
that
whistling, you were whistling after you had your go as
Oh,
well?
yeah.
Fucking hell, Carl.
But hang on, let's just hear a bit. That is Carl's self-expression. That is his artistic self-expression right there.
Inane. No tune, no nothing.
There's mental patients who have smeared canvases with shit who have expressed more than you have in that.
Yeah, but it's not about other people. I'm not there to please other people.
You're there to annoy him.
What was the best word you came up with in Scrabble?
Don't knock me at Scrabble, because I do alright. What's weird is, when I play Scrabble, my brain can come up with words that I don't normally say.
Okay, this isn't... No, I'm in cheat here. Your brain can come up with words you wouldn't normally say.
Just words that I'd never drop into a sentence.
Tree, cat.
Go on.
Squirm. That's using a Q. It's worth 10, that. It's not bad, is it? No, I'd never say that.
I've never heard you... I don't think I've ever heard you say squirm, no. I don't think you're right, Carl. I've never heard you say squirm.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
And yet your brain popped that one out?
And then, yeah, when it wasn't my go, just... Anyway, so that's sort of doing art for yourself as opposed for other people.
I don't think you can count what you just did then as art. Hobby maybe, craft, pastime. I don't think you can count that as art. I'm not being funny. I'm being a bit snobby here, but I think there's a difference between Beethoven and squirm. There's a Q in that.
Anyway, 2:30, brilliant. What did happen to that bloke who used to make the sound effects in Police Academy?
I don't know.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? Do you remember him?
I don't remember
Was he
him.
called Hightower?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah?
If anyone knows, give us a call.
God.
Girls and boys.
You've embarrassed yourself then, Gervais.
What?
Well, we've had a number of calls and emails
Yeah.
pointing out that the Hindenburg disaster was not because the Zeppelin was filled with helium,
Hydrogen.
but filled with hydrogen.
Right, okay. Well, I thought about that when he told me in the week.
Well, yeah, but
I assumed he must have got that off from the documentary. So it just went up. So that's probably why the voices didn't go
That was
for me.
probably why it didn't feature in the documentary.
Yeah.
But it seems to me we should have thought of that. I mean, like, it's school fates and stuff where they're, like, filling little balloons with helium.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be all kinds of horror stories if they were just, you know, just blowing up, you know, left, right and centre. I don't think you can just blow helium up like that, can you?
What?
Isn't that the point? What I'm saying is it can't be as potentially lethal as hydrogen. Helium.
What, hydrogen isn't as bad as helium?
No, helium's not as bad as hydrogen.
I don't know what you're saying, because the Hindenburg was hydrogen.
Yeah, and I'm saying, why did we think it was helium? That's crazy. You go to fates, school fates and stuff with, like, little kids, and they're filling up little balloons with helium. They wouldn't have big canisters of helium, you know, at a charity event, or, you know, a small kind of bring and buy sale if it was deadly.
Yeah, but it's not as big. I mean, when you buy those balloons at a fair, it's not as big as that big
But presumably
balloon.
it's still flammable, isn't it?
But it wasn't the fact how dangerous the rare gas was, or it was the fact that it was made of this thing that caught fire and just went. There was nothing. A hole in it would have been as bad. It just burnt quickly and fell to the ground because the hydrogen or helium escaped. It wasn't. It was irrelevant that what the gas was, wasn't it?
I thought it was that there was supposed to be some kind of explosion.
Well, I don't know what it was, but the point is, because the outer thing was so thin, right, the gas inside escaped and it fell to the
So
ground.
it just fell to the ground like when you've popped a balloon.
Well, not
It didn't
quite.
sort of go...
It didn't, like, flap all over the place and make a zany noise.
But I'll tell you what, 'cause when I was looking on the internet in the week for it, I was, like, trying to get a bit more info on it. Guess how many balloons it would take, helium balloons, to lift a human up?
Go on.
6,000.
Should we do it?
If you want.
Brilliant. Next week, that's got to be a challenge.
Can we, is there a sort of balloon company or some sort of, you know, party company that are willing to sponsor us to lift Carl
Into the air
Right.
with helium balloons.
10 feet off the ground, where we're tether him down, right? Is there someone willing to pay for 6,000 balloons to try and lift
We
Carl
could maybe
up?
get some kind of company to sponsor it. I'm thinking like Electrolux, if they're going to sponsor puddings.
If they're going to sponsor puddings, you know, and celebrities, Russ Abbott, they will sponsor Carl being lifted. Heat magazine, come on. They're big selling, a very successful magazine there, and they know about Carl, because they've mentioned him. Heat magazine, can we have a heat balloon? Yeah? Oh,
6,000's an awful lot,
into the
Rick.
air, yeah. It's the heat 6,000 Carl challenge. Lift Carl 10 feet into the air.
Yeah.
Come on.
What about if it was Carl and Dr. Fox? We could get 2 different balloons.
I think we need a lot more than 6,000.
lot more for Fox,
to
isn't it?
Mix, yeah. I just explained what I'm laughing at, right? We just had a call from someone saying his company would sponsor Carl, right, to be raised by all these balloons if he could have a walk-on part in the office. And we immediately went, oh, we're worried about that sort of thing. You can't really promise that artistic, you know. And I was worried about the legality of it as well. How can you promise someone that for personal gain that's a private, and all that sort of stuff, right? And I went, oh, I don't know. And anyway, put the phone down to him, and Carl went, I love the fact you're more effing worried about that than me being raised 30 feet in the effing air. You started getting scared, did you? Are you worried about it?
Well,
You're quite excited about the idea of the challenge, though, aren't you?
I like the idea, but I want, like...
Why do you like the idea, Carl?
Oh, what if it went all wrong and we're there going, oh, the humanity of it.
I think we need
Carl,
to get...
he's just
I
turned...
on the rope would pull out my trousers and punch me.
Oh, no, it's definitely got to be Dr. Fox if that's going to happen.
Oh, God. Oh, we've got to do this.
So hang on, but let's just think about because wait a minute, I mean, we say this, but we'd have to get all kinds of health and safety people involved.
No, we wouldn't.
Of course we can't just start freezing in the air.
No, you're allowed to do it on private land, aren't you?
Look what happened to the Hindenburg!
No, but I was just saying there was lots of people died. Listen, look, all we do is we get someone, right?
But what if he gets loose and he just floats off into the air?
And then we never, and he meets his magpie that he lost. He used to peck his
With
grifter.
balloons.
So
I'm so excited about this. Listen, we've got to do this.
No, but
Please.
shut up a minute, let's
No.
just stop and think about it. It's
Right.
60,000 balloons.
Balloons. Look, no, it's not. It's 6,000.
6,000.
But 6,000 balloons, that's a lot of balloons.
No, it's not. No, it's
don't be
not.
silly.
For
6,000
sponsorship, people pay for... no, listen, it's worth it. There must be a company out there that'll pay for this, just so we can film
Hang
it.
on, is there not an easier way of just getting one big balloon? Then the challenge is there's no challenge.
No,
then.
it's got to be.
not
It's
funny.
got to have people coming up and hooking balloons. It'd be like Buckaroo, and the person who puts the balloon that actually raises him 10 feet wins a prize or something.
So hang on, so what we've got each person with like 500 balloons.
Yeah.
That's mad. Can you imagine how many balloons that is? That's ludicrous.
6,000. Yeah.
That's an awful lot of balloons.
I don't know. There must be someone that could do this. Oh look, people have walked on the moon for Christ's sake. We can raise Karl Pilkington with some balloons.
Yes, but they had a NASA budget. We've got XFM behind us.
Yeah, but balloons,
Yeah.
balloons are cheap. You can get about a pack of 25 for about 150.
Right, fine.
No.
True.
Yeah, the helium though, Carl. You can't just like attach yourself to a pack of balloons.
No, but
What, you think we blow them all up?
with helium,
Right.
Oh.
off you go.
But then we can do something with the balloons, can't we? Like release them afterwards.
Oh, we'll release them back into the wild. Brilliant, as a sign of peace. Fly, my British, fly, be free.
I am so excited. I have not been so excited about until I thought that Robin Ince was going to stay in my cupboard for £1,000. Look, we've got to do this.
6,000 balloons. I don't think it's going to happen. That's an awful lot of balloons, and I just don't think. I don't see how we can tether them all to Carl. He's a small man.
No, but
Because you have them at different lengths, don't you?
yeah, exactly. Carl knows.
Can you think about the logistics of this?
Oh, someone must know. There must be a company. There's a bloke willing to do it. I know he doesn't know the technology of it. He's willing to sort of stand back.
And
What sort of company just
Come on,
has access to helium like that?
So we can do this. Come on, London.
Someone's done
Londoners.
It was on the internet already, so someone obviously has done it.
Yeah.
So they didn't say, oh, we can't get hold of the balloon.
No, they probably worked it out, didn't they?
I can't, Carl, you're more excited about this than anything else, about your education, about your exam results. You're so excited.
And we'll have a little rope. We're like flying a little kite, a little Carl. We're like, let's go,
Carl, what will you wear? Like a one-piece jumpsuit?
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
With sponsorship all over it?
Oh, it'd be great. You look like Jackie Stewart, and just as you go up your little face, oh my god, I'm not going to sleep until this is done. This is the most exciting thing ever.
Only 10 feet.
10 feet, yeah, and
We need some kind of rope to sort of tether you to the ground. We
Yeah.
don't want you sort of flying off.
This is going to be great. And he'll have a little crash helmet and everything, and little deedie boppers on the crash helmet, like
Yeah.
he's a little flying ant.
Definitely.
We give him a little, oh my god, can we give you a little outfit, like little wings and everything?
Can we paint your face with, like, children's
No, I'm
paint?
not
Yeah.
doing all that.
Why?
Oh, no, because that would be silly.
Oh, please, Carl, do this, do it, we'll do it for charity, yeah?
Right.
Yeah? Oh, this is
We'll
gonna
do it
be
for children in
brilliant.
need.
Please, just phone in if you can help us. Lift Carl up 30 feet. Let's say 30
I think
feet.
it has to be a decent...
Yeah, it has to be a decent
What,
height.
is there a world record? Because we want to break that if we're
Yeah,
going
I want to break that. What is the world record for raising a man by balloons?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, let's just finalise details here. We've got
I'm so excited.
email address ricky.gervais
Yeah.
at xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk.
What's the number? What's the number?
The number, Carl?
08700 800 1234.
Give it
Lift
again,
Carl.
give it again.
Lift Carl.
08700 800 1234.
Sponsored by Heat Magazine
And
or
you,
something.
maybe even if you've just got an idea about how we might be able to organise it, how we might be able to get it done, if you've got contacts, anything, just get in touch, give us some information.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm gonna play a Beatles track for song for the lovers.
Oh, man.
It's off the Help album, and it's You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Oh, just think of his little face as he goes.
You'll be televised.
Yeah. Well, XFM, we're nearly the end of the show. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. We've enjoyed your company. Carl, we're going to try and get Carl in the air. Anyone that can help us, take him up with helium balloons. Our friend Johnny Mango called again, and apparently the record's 11,000 feet. Carl is getting a little bit nervous.
Yeah, the world record is 11,631 feet raised by hot air balloons.
How tall's Canary Wharf?
It's 11,631 feet. Exactly. I don't know, Carl.
Is it, how much higher?
It's a long way.
More.
I'm not doing that.
Because I'm like 6 foot something.
Yeah, think of that. Just look at Steve.
Alright?
Yeah.
But you can change your record. You could say, well, the sort of balloons are the one with Mickey Mouse on it or something.
Yeah, could I just say something? That man did 11,000 feet, but he wasn't naked. Alright?
Come on, Carl.
Your 30 feet will be the world record for naked ballooning. Yeah? Think about it.
Alright, it's for charity.
Well, thank you for listening, everyone. We are going to raise Carl. And after Carl said, and just to think, my teacher said I'd never be a high flyer. So this is your chance, Carl. To shine, to fly.
Steve.
It'll be brilliant. This is a final song for the ladies. Belle and Sebastian, we've not heard them for a while. This is from, it's actually a B-side or a triple side or whatever you call it. Track 3 on a single called Jonathan David. This is the beautiful The Loneliness of the Middle Distance Runner. Play.
Goodbye.